everyone. So UFC Mexico is this weekend, and it's an okay card. It's not really anything that I'm like super crazy about, but it's better than some other events. And I think this one isn't in the Apex, which is crazy considering all the Apex like fight night cards we've been getting and are going to be getting this year. It's fucking stupid, but we at least get this card, which it's okay. But the two big fights are obviously the main event and co-main event, which I'll just say my co-main event pick right now. It's Yair Rodriguez over Brian Ortega. I think that's pretty obvious. But we're going to talk about the main event, which I think is a bit more interesting, and I have a bit more to talk about in it, just because these two guys have been more active. Obviously we have Brand Moreno, who's been supposed to be fighting on this card the entire time, who was originally supposed to be fighting Amir Albazi, which I originally was just going to pick Brand Moreno to beat Amir Albazi, just because Amir didn't look that good against Kai France, and I didn't think he won that fight. It wasn't as bad as a robbery as I originally thought, and a bunch of other people originally thought, but you'd be reaching trying to say that Amir won that fight, or I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me. But Amir Albazi pulls out. I don't know what injury he had, but he got injured. And in steps Brandon Royval, who on short notice, which props to him for doing this, save this main event. And he's coming off a loss in the co-main event of, oh my god, it was UFC 266. Yeah. Yes, UFC 266, which was the last pay-per-view and card of 2023, which is the Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington one, where he lost, in my opinion, pretty comfortably to Pantoja on scorecards. In the fight, it was a bit more competitive, and everyone's talking about like the strikes he was landing, Brandon Royval was landing. He landed a shit ton. He put no power behind them, was super hesitant to at least try to damage Pantoja, especially when, and this was the worst part, when he's down 3 rounds and is not picking up the pace, is not sitting on his strikes, trying to put some damage in there, trying to make something happen and maybe damage him, freak out Pantoja and try and catch him to a submission. I didn't think he was gonna KO or TKO him, but he could at least have fucking tried. Royval, he's a wild guy. He throws some crazy fucking spinning shit. That's the only time he'll really finish someone with strikes, is if he's throwing one of those spinning elbows or just flashy strikes that just come out of nowhere to the point where they can't prepare for that, so they just get dropped, stunned, and then finished. And then he's got some decent wrestling and submissions. I mean, he's been doing pretty good of that, but Brian Moreno, I think, is better. He's the better brand in my opinion, of just because we got to look at how this has gone. Brand Moreno, well, yes, he's lost to Pantoja 3 times, and if he wins this fight, he'll probably get another title shot, because the UFC really want a Mexican champion, and they fumbled their chance of having all 3 of them on a UFC Mexico card, so they're settling for a fight night right now. But they've been super giving to Brandon Moreno, because they really want this guy as a champion, because he's a bit more marketable than Pantoja. But I mean, he's a good fighter. I mean, you've seen his quadrilogy with Davison Figueiredo. I mean, first fight, really competitive, a draw. I had Figueiredo winning that fight, because even though with all that stuff, so that's one. But he made it super competitive, and it was not supposed to be a competitive match. Then the second fight happens, he submits him, and it's crazy. It's an unbelievable moment in there. First, Mexican-born UFC champion. Everyone's losing their mind. I'm losing my mind. Then he loses to Davison Figueiredo in their trilogy, which, in my opinion, Davison Figueiredo won that fight. Damage, just submission threats, control time. He dropped him twice, and people still think that Brandon Moreno got robbed in that fight, when I was he didn't really damage Figueiredo all that much in the fight in any meaningful way in the rounds that he lost, and that So I was already like 2-1 to Figueiredo, so I didn't know why they did a quadrilogy. But what is it? Moreno, he gets a win against Kai Kara-France, winning the interim title, which that was a very good fight. And I was rewatching it over recently. I think it was over like Christmas break for college for me, and it was a lot more competitive than I thought. It still was pretty. It was more one-sided than some other fights, but it was a bit more competitive than you think. Like, I mean, Kai Kara-France like cut open Brandon Moreno, and it was pretty bloody for that. But it's just like no matter what Kai Kara-France was doing, his body was just so compromised from the amount of just strikes that Brandon Moreno was landing. Brandon Moreno knew he could take strikes from Kai Kara-France, so he didn't really care what would happen, which is kind of the reason why it was a lot more competitive, because Brandon Moreno knew that Kai Kara-France could not keep up in the later rounds, and I believe his third round just body shot just crumbles, and it was brutal. And then he wins the doctor stoppage against Deiveson Figueiredo in the fourth fight, makes it like a whole different game of like his evolution. And then he loses to Alexander Pantoja in a pretty clear win for Pantoja, but another war. Really good fight. I really enjoyed that fight. And, you know, just his high-level experience, his durability, his takedown defense is crazy. And I know some people are like, well, Brandon Moreno's taken so much damage. Like, this could be the fight where that happens. And I'm like, unless Brandon Royval throws some wild-ass shit that Brandon Moreno isn't expecting, I don't think his really, like, weak punches and kicks are going to just do anything to Moreno, and I might regret that, and part of me's kind of expecting, just because I think it'd be a pretty memeable moment, but I just can't see it happening. I don't see Brandon Moreno finishing I don't see him finishing Brandon Royval. I just think Brandon Royval, his like size and all that stuff, will allow him to just survive the matchup in that, and I think it'll be decently competitive. I see it going 4 rounds to 1 in favor of Brandon Moreno. A lot of it on the feet, and at random moments, Brandon Royval will realize he's getting like tagged up, his body's being hit, his face being hit, his legs are getting chewed by leg kicks, and he'll he'll throw like a spinning elbow and then go in for like a takedown. It gets stuffed. He's getting demoralized because Brandon Moreno is like a brick wall when it comes to like takedown defense, unless you're Pantoja, and even then he had to fight for those. He had to like commit to those wholeheartedly, because it was a battle to just get Brandon Moreno to the ground, and then you have to hold him there, which is also hard. And Brandon Moreno is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and can throw up submissions, can do all that stuff. So it's not like he's like Adesanya or these other guys where they don't really have much of a ground game. Like, Brandon Moreno is just fucking durable and will not get taken to the ground. But if you take him to the ground, that's just like, oh yeah, you're fighting a different kind of Brandon Moreno now. Like, it's not that he's uncomfortable on the ground. It's just that he wants to beat you up, and it's fucking crazy to me. So I don't really see an aspect of this fight other than maybe pure like wildness that might trip up Moreno, that Brandon Royval is better than him. I can't see that outside of like pure wildness and unorthodox. But I mean, Brandon Moreno, I don't think Brandon Royval is unorthodox enough to really scare Brandon Moreno, because I feel like Brandon Moreno is like too calm about this stuff, and I just see Brandon Moreno 4 rounds to 1 unanimous decision pretty comfortably. But yeah, no, that's my take for that main event. Bye.